Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Kai, and today I have for you a special video. It is going to be a recap of all of the different press-on nails that I made throughout 2025. I actually did this last year, which is what this board here is, but I'm gonna go ahead and rehaul the board, take all of my old sets off, add my new ones, do the ranking of which were my favorite sets from throughout 2025, and just kind of like talk about my nail journey as a whole, how I came up with the designs, what sort of growth I feel like I made throughout the year, and things that I want to work on for 2026. So if all that sounds good to you, please continue watching. Please consider subscribing if you like nail art tutorials, hauls, vlogs, all of that fun stuff. But without too much more chit-chatting, let's get into the video. All right, so this is my 2024 board. It does feel very nostalgic looking back on this. This was like my first full year on YouTube. I started posting regularly in about February, end of February into March. And so that was like my dive into long form content. I've been posting shorts before, so it's crazy to see how much I've grown since then. Thank you so much for 10K, by the way, this year. That is a milestone that I wasn't ever sure that I would meet, but I'm so grateful to everybody who's just been along the journey with me. So yeah, it's just been an amazing community to be part of. So looking back on this, these were some of my favorite sets, and then this one is still one of my favorites. It is my first collaboration with Sweetie Nail Supply, and I tried doing like my own wire charms using the Dreamy Little Nails method for her Sakura nails, which I did here as well. So yeah, unfortunately I forgot to order more magnetic stands. I am gonna have to take all these nails off of their stands. I do need to make way for 2025. Speaking of which, that is all of these nails here. I have about 20 pairs that need to go up on the board. These, of course, are just the press-ons that I've made. There are nails that I did like on my actual hands that obviously I couldn't keep. So 19, 20 pairs. I'm pretty proud of that. So I guess first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and speed time lapse through me removing my old sets and putting them on these little non-magnetic cards so I can store them, and then we'll get to the new ones. So here's our board all empty. I'm excited to add the new nails. All right, so this was the first set of 2025. It was these little cinema roll onsen inspired nails. So there was a blind box set that came out that was all like Sanrio and bathhouse themed, and I really wanted it, but I decided instead of spending money on the blind box, I would just do a little nail set based on it. This is probably one of my favorite sets from the year. Everything is hand sculpted. I did everything in 3D clay and in gel products. I had the idea for these little water droplets that are super impractical, but also I think they do look very cool. And I don't want to talk about the amount of times I had to repaint his face details until they felt right. I do have a full video. Unfortunately, I can't tag all of them up in the corner, but I'll make sure to link them in the description. The blue base, by the way, is the Blueberry Milk base from Nail Thoughts. One of my favorite bases in terms of like a really pretty jelly blue. But yeah, super happy with how these ones turned out. And then up next, I did some Chinese New Year themed nails. The year 2025 was the year of the snake, and so I did a little snake themed set. All this was hand painted and hand sculpted aside from this charm here and the metal snake. I did get these off of, I think, Temu. It was part of one of my hauls, but I mostly centered the design around this charm here because I just thought it was so pretty. Very impractical, very clunky, but I do really like it. All right, and then next up were my Valentine's Day nails, which another favorite of mine. So these were like strawberry shortcake dessert themed, very much inspired by Flower Nose, the makeup brand. They did a Valentine Cupid set, and so I took a lot of inspo from that collection. Okay, and here's this set. I haven't actually tried any Flower Nose makeup, but I just love the packaging. It's so pretty. And I don't know, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I love that I was playing more with texture at this point. So using like the Diva Canvas White Gel, this has become my go-to. I use it in so many different sets. I hand sculpted all of the little like whipped cream dollops. And yeah, this was just a really fun one to work on. I love this style, this kind of like regal, elegant style. I do think I really leaned into that a lot this year. And then up next was another fun like spring design, food design. This one was based around all sorts of Japanese snacks, like a Japanese cafe set. Hey, little bear, you gotta watch it. Okay, buddy. Fine, you can sit on my lap, but okay. This is one of my favorites because it was the first time I'd actually played around with colored pencil art. So like the lines here and the hearts, the toast, the cupcake, those are all done in colored pencil on top of a matte top coat. It was just a really fun medium to play around with. I do want to revisit it because I think it's so fun. Everything else is hand sculpted. I was really proud of these like little teeny tiny banana slices, and same with the little strawberry slice. And then of course the strawberry milk jar. Sculpting charms is one of my favorite things, so I was really happy with how these ones turned out. The only thing about this set is every time I look at it, I want snacks. And it's the new year, and I'm trying to snack a little bit less after the holidays because during the holidays, I really don't care. Speaking of which, what are all of your New Year's resolutions? I'd love to hear about them. Mine is definitely going to be doing more nail art, so attempting to do 2 nail designs a month. And then I do have some special projects that I'm hoping to announce and develop soon, so stay tuned for that. But just continuing to grow my nail art channel, to experiment with content and try out different things. Also to maybe finally develop a little bit better of a work-life balance. We'll see. And of course, mainly to keep enjoying what I'm doing, and just maintain my passion for nail art. So up next was a 3D like dark fairy Espa inspired set. So here's this one. I did use a mold for this part of the mermaid tail, and then I added some extra fins that I hand sculpted, and then everything else was sculpted aside from, of course, like the spikes and the piercings. This rib cage gave me so many issues, and honestly I feel like I could still do it better, make it a little bit more delicate looking, a little bit more refined. but it definitely a learning process. The set took some time. It was my first time also trying like the cyber syllogism. But I'm really happy with how this tail came out, especially like the fishboning here. I used the Devoc canvas gel to do like a kind of raised 3D texture on this. Very satisfying. Yeah, this was inspired by the Armageddon video from aespa. Okay, and this is a really special set because this was my first collaboration on this channel with another YouTube creator. So this was in collaboration with Tamara from the Devil Wears Press-Ons. We both had the Cristania Pastel collection. And so we both did our own take on like a cutesy spring Sanrio set with them. So I did one based on a blind box figurine that I have that is one of my favorites. If you don't know Tamara, definitely check out her channel. Again, Devil Wears Press-Ons. She does awesome nail art and hauls. So here's these nails. This is another kind of like super impractical, more of an art piece rather than a wearable set, but I really like how he turned out. I was super proud of the little cinema roll here. I basically hand sculpted the body and then I used clay to add the little robe, the clothing, and I think it turned out super sweet. If you did not know, Cinnamoroll is a boy, even though he wears like bows and things like that, which we love. And call me basic, but he is one of my favorite Sanrio characters, so a lot of my sets you'll notice feature Cinnamoroll. I should really do more of this because it's been a while since I've used fishing wire, but it's such a versatile material, especially in nail art and resin art. And these colors were from the Devox Summer and Spring set, both of which I really like from that Four Seasons collection. Yeah, this is definitely up there with the favorites as well, especially what it meant for my channel, which was doing a collaboration, something I actually really want to do more of this year. Sometimes it's hard coordinating it and finding the time, but I do have some individuals who I'm hoping to work with if we can both work it into our schedules. Okay, and up next is another set that actually signifies a really important milestone for me. So these nails I had originally made to go on my trip with my boyfriend's family to Europe, but then I ended up wearing them to Premiere Orlando. So I was super excited about being invited to go. Thank you to Melody Susie for sponsoring my ticket. It was a really great experience. I got to meet a lot of some like nail creators that I had been following online, including Lauren from Inspo by Nails. At the event, shop all of the different brands and do some education classes as well. So I'm super thankful for that experience, and I love how this set turned out. They honestly took me quite a while to make because I tried to do every single nail different, but still like matching. And I don't know, I think I achieved it pretty well. Most of it's hand sculpted. The only thing I saved some time on are like the little Mofusans here. Those are stickers. But then the rest hand painted and sculpted, and yeah, I'm really happy with this set. I do have this also on my channel as a tutorial if you're interested. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention this one has some cute like color changing elements too. So this paw print here, I used the Artie Gel thermal gels, and if you warm them up, they turn clear. Yeah, you can kind of tell. So the color fades and turns transparent, which means you can do some really cool effects with it. And I just thought that was really fun. All right, so next up are two actual sets I made for my trip. Oh no, cat number 2. Augie. What's going on, buddy? Can you lay down? Yeah, you can lay down. So if you watch my travel vlog up on my channel, you'll know that I was super fortunate to go with my boyfriend's family to Europe. So we started the trip off in Italy and spent a couple days in Rome before doing a cruise around Italy, ending in Venice. That's what these nails were for. Unfortunately, I did lose some in the process. I had applied them with glue over top the Jello peel-off base, which is one of my preferred ways to do it. Hand sculpted, I do really like hand sculpting my charms. These two are molds though, so I do occasionally like using a 3D mold just to save some time or get some like really intricate sharp details. And then this set here was for the UK leg of the trip, so I did end up in London and then went over to Scotland. I actually got to meet Hope from Nails Box of Hope on that trip, which was really special and a lot of fun. So these were the nails I made for that part of the trip. I just wanted like something summery, fairy garden vibes, and I love a good pink and green combo. This has become a new favorite technique of mine. I know other people have probably done the same, but I just did the glass technique, but instead of having like all of the lines continuous, I broke it up with just some little flower petals and then some dots, and I think it's a really fun way to add texture to a nail. So yeah, really pleased with this set as well, and I did manage to keep all of these because I had applied them with glue straight onto my nails, no peel off base, and honestly they were kind of hard to remove. So I do like using the peel off for that reason. These nails will always be really special to me because it was such a trip of a lifetime. I got to learn so much about the history in Italy. It's weird because everything over there is so old compared to in the United States, where things from like, the 1800s are considered old. Over there, you're looking at things from, BCE. And it's very impressive and in a way makes you feel quite small, but in a good way, as in like there's so much to the world to explore. So yeah, super grateful to have been able to travel. I do want to travel more in 2026 as well. I have plans, hopefully, to maybe go up to Canada to do a nail workshop. And then also, I would love to be able to make it to Japan, but I don't know if that's a 2026 thing for me. That might have to be a little bit later, maybe in 2027. I just have to save up to be able to go to Japan because airfare, it's expensive, travel is expensive. So again, super grateful that I can travel at all. And I'm excited to see what 2026 has in store. Okay, and then these nails I made when I got back from my trip. So these are just cute little goldfish nails. This was inspired by Chrisania Neri's Sea and Sky collection. She had sent it to me as a PR, and one of the colors was goldfish. It's this like orange color here that honestly I was super surprised how much I liked it, because I'm not usually like an orange fan, orange or yellow, but I really did like the orange in this collection. So I made these cute little nails. So here's these ones. I did the like bubble technique where it's embedded in the gel itself, and then this was my first time trying like these layered scales, and I do like how they turned out. I did the little goldfish bag that I think is super cute, and then this guy here, it was supposed to be like a goldfish peeking his little head up. I don't know if I love him. He kind of looks more like Morph from Treasure Planet, but I guess he's cute. And then again, that layered glass nail look with some bubbles. I do really like how that nail turned out. And then this collection, the packaging is everything. I know she was trying to deliver like that Korean nail experience with a really nice package. And so you get a custom box with a little drawer that has all of your swatches. It does come with its own glass swatches and a beautiful acrylic swatch card. Definitely a premium experience, and these polishes are super glittery. They're cat eye, again, thermal. And I just love what she's doing with the brand, and I am so grateful to have connected with her this year and to consider her a friend that I've made in this nail community. Super excited for her 2026 journey. All right, and after that was another milestone for me. This was my first attempt at doing portrait nails. So I've done a lot of hand-painted nail art. I've done character nail art, but more like Sanrio cutesy characters. This was my first attempt at a human character. And it's based on Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters. I definitely got caught up in that craze. I watched the movie on the way to Italy, and then I was listening to all of the songs throughout the summer. And so I just knew I had to do some sort of tribute to K-pop Demon Hunters. So this is the portrait nail, and for my first try, I'm honestly quite happy with it. It's definitely not perfect. Some of the perspective is a little bit off depending on which way you look at it. Nails are hard to do portraits on. I wasn't anticipating how much having this like curved surface would affect it, so a lot of trial and error there, but I am pretty pleased with how she turned out, and I'm excited to do more hand-painted portraits. That's something I want to work on in 2026 as well. And I love that K-pop Demon Hunters was such like a cultural moment, something that brought a love of K-pop to even more general mainstream audiences. I got into K-pop around college, so I think like 2014, 2015. It's actually right when BTS was kind of debuting and growing. So my big bands then were BTS, EXO, Red Velvet, and a little bit later on 17. Oh, and Mamamoo. So I'm definitely a like second, third gen stan. Oh, and how can I forget Girls' Generation? I don't listen to as much of the new stuff nowadays, just because I don't have the time to be as, involved and searching for it as I would like. But I still have a nostalgic place in my heart for K-pop. And so it made me really happy to see everybody kind of like connecting through K-pop Demon Hunters. Even my boyfriend would play Golden, and like they made it on the Macy's Day Parade this year, which I thought was awesome. So yeah, it made me happy. This set though was so much work in terms of the hand painting. I went into it with an idea and I'm happy with the execution. It just took me forever because I did all of these like little hand painted chrome designs too. So the portrait itself was like 5 hours, I think, of attempting, redoing, and then all of the other hand painted details were just time consuming, but I am very pleased with how it came out. All right, and then as my last summer set, I had to do one more cinema roll set, and this is with Chrisania's new Milky 3D clay and her clear clay. So she recently reformulated to a Korean manufacturer, and these clays, guys, they are so good. They're non-stick. You can file them as well, so they cure hard. That's for her jelly clays. And that clear is just so clear. It's such a good formula. I love working with it. You can get them on Sweetie Nail Supply and her website, so definitely check them out. But here's my little Cinnammermaid set. So everything here is hand sculpted aside from the metallic charms. And this also features that Sea and Sky bundle from Chrisania Neri, this time in like the darker blue color. This color is so pretty. I definitely like this one. And just look at that shine. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making all of the different shapes, trying out the little like trending Sanrio head design that was big, and attempting some like Hokusai inspired waves. Also very much inspired by Ashop on Instagram. I love her work. She does amazing chrome and like textured looks. And I was super proud of my little Cinnammermaid, probably my tiniest character charm to date, just with his face being so small, but I love him. I was very pleased with how he turned out. And then Chrisania just had such a big year. She also came out with some Pat art gels, 2 collections at this point, but this one I made for her first Pat art palette, which is just like a rainbow palette of different colors, opaque gels, so they're super pigmented. You can also stamp with them and do chrome application. So I decided I wanted to attempt to recreate my kind of like first, I wouldn't say it's viral, it's definitely not, but I think at this point it has like 16,000 views on YouTube, and it was definitely my most popular video at the time I posted it, but it was a little like Kirby and Dreamland set. So I wanted to redo it and then see how much I've grown in comparison from then to now. So here's this set. Honestly, this was kind of a humbling experience because I ended up liking elements from the previous set better than this one. There are things I like here. The glitter is a nice addition. I think my lines are much smoother, but I actually like the less realistic version of like the cake and the wand that I did in the previous set. Actually, here, I might as well just compare them here. So this was the first set and then this one is the second. I think the first one is a little bit more like cartoony in nature, a little bit more true to the source material, and then this one I attempted to do more detailed, more realistic. I definitely like the ombre in this one better because I was using that Pat art gel, easier to get a smooth ombre. Again, my lines are cleaner, smoother. I don't know, there's something about the like cutesy, simplistic nature of the 3D sculpted charms on this nail that I really like. And it was just a good reminder to me that sometimes growth is not like a straightforward upward line. It is really more of like a curving graph where you have spikes of growth And then you also have some things that you might struggle with and have to improve upon. So you see highs and lows within a journey. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. I highly recommend recreating one of your early sets just to see how things have changed. All right, and then after that, I decided to give portrait nails another try. This time I went with a slightly more realistic style. So Arcane is one of my favorite pieces of media, hands down. And one of my favorite characters is Mel. So I decided I wanted to attempt to do a Mel Medarda nail and do like a portrait. So let's talk. All right, so here I have 2 attempts at the portrait nail. There are things I like about both. This one I think has the best proportions, but I like the skin tone I was able to achieve for this nail better. Just the eyes were very soulless and dead looking, and the proportions I think were off. But I probably redid this nail, I think 4 times. I do have the full process on my YouTube. It was quite the challenge, but eventually we got there. And again, I'm excited to kind of like try to work on my portraiture nails moving forward. Super inspired by people like Diablo Nails on Instagram and Viv from Pamper Nail Studio, and then of course Ball Pit Addict. Everybody does such amazing portraits. I would like to attempt to maybe one day get to that point, but we'll see. I definitely have to keep working on it. But yeah, I do really like this set. All of it's based around her character and just some different elements of her character. And this was one of my first, I think it was the first maybe video as a Sweetie Nail Supply BA, so brand ambassador. I have been an affiliate for a while, but now I am officially a brand ambassador, which I'm so grateful for, honestly. I truly believe in the quality of like Korean, Japanese, Taiwanese manufactured gels over some of the other options that are available. I know they are more expensive. Just personally, my philosophy, I would rather pay a little bit more for the peace of mind to know that the ingredients are quality, just because I do have sensitive skin, rather than risking a cheaper brand causing any sort of allergic reaction. Definitely, please always do your research. There's been a lot that's come out recently about certain brands that has forced me to kind of reflect and do research. And so moving forward, I really only want to represent brands that I know are doing their research, distributors who are vetting the products and who offer things like SDSs and transparency and things like that. So yeah, that's just my personal philosophy. That's how I want to approach it, because I feel like as somebody making content and showing off product, there is a little bit of a responsibility there for me to at least know what I am putting out there. So yeah, there are brands that have reached out to me that I just have not taken deals with because I feel like I just don't know enough about them. So that's just me, and that's my goals moving forward in 2026. And then we get to my Claw era. So if you are a fan of her, you might know Taylor Swift got engaged. I used to be a big fan of Taylor Swift, but more so when I was in high school. But all throughout high school, I was a big fan. Love Story, absolutely my favorite song of hers by far, still to this day. And so this set was inspired by both her engagement photos and Love Story, the song and the music video. It was my first set of claw press-ons, and I'm actually really proud of how they turned out. I didn't think though about how sticking these on this board would work. So let's see. Okay, that looks kind of crazy, but that's part of why I love these claw nails. I honestly could never wear them as press-ons. They are just, especially this dual form that I used, it's the Nova Ovo ones, so sharp. I don't know how, you could function with that day to day without like poking an eye out, but I do like how they look. I like how they make me feel. I don't know, there's something about short nails versus long nails that just makes you feel a little bit more confident. But I really had a lot of fun with these. I enjoyed playing around with embedding things. That's my new favorite thing, is embedding in claw nails, especially in like clear claws. I did these musical notes here. I embedded the flowers and the rhinestones. And yeah, I just want to experiment so much more with embeds. Obviously my favorite combo, pink and green. So yeah, I was super pleased with how these turned out, and it makes me want to make more claw nails. Let me know down in the comments, are you a claw nail person? I know they are perhaps a little divisive because of the shape, but I do love them. Speaking of which, come Halloween, I still couldn't get rid of the claw nails, so I did this Silent Hill F inspired set. The game had just released and I love the aesthetic of like old 50s Japan. I've been a big fan of the Silent Hill IP for quite a while. So yeah, I had to do a tribute set and I thought claws would be perfect considering the theming of like foxes in the game. So I was really proud of how these ones turned out too. I tried an embed technique that I've seen dice makers use, which is where you take a smaller form and then you sculpt something inside that, and then you embed that whole thing into a bigger form. I don't know, the video is up on my channel if you'd like to see how I did this nail here with the like guts and flower petals. That's probably one of my favorites. I also embedded a spider lily. The spider lily though was done with a 3D mold, but then everything else was hand sculpted. The intestines here, the fox mask, that took me forever. Such a pain sculpting this small little thing, but I am really happy with how it turned out. And then I wanted to do the robe fastening for one of the characters with actual string. Hand painted her whole robe design. It was quite the process, but again, really pleased with how this one turned out. And then I had time for one more Halloween set this year, which was another video game inspired nail set. This one, instead of Silent Hill though, is Resident Evil. So this is another IP that I've been following for a while. This one is based off an older game, Resident Evil Village. I can't believe how old it is at this point. I was assuming it was like maybe a year or two, but I think it came out in 21, maybe 22, which was crazy to me. Makes me feel old. But here are these. So this set featured Devok's first solid color gel set, the Quiet Core collection, which I reviewed as PR. Super nice formula, very creamy. I will say some of the darker colors, like this wine red here, is more of a like 2-3 coat sheer color. So the darker colors in the set aren't cream gels, but the rest, like this brown, the black, are really nice opaque gels. And I returned to the wire charm method to make this art here. That was a process, quite the journey, but I am happy with how it turned out. Each of the nails is meant to represent one of the 4 lords in the game, and then the last one is for Mother Miranda, the like main boss. I just really like the story and the continuation of the story from Resident Evil 7, and I thought it was perfect for the Halloween season. And then it was the winter season, and I made these Doyen-inspired winter nails. So here are these winter Doyen-inspired nails. I just wanted to do something really sparkly and shimmery, and even more a little bit beginner-friendly. That is something that I've had requests for, is designs that are a little bit easier for beginners, which is something I do want to do more of moving into 2026. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do my very intricate, kind of like crazy 3D impractical nails, but also intersperse a couple more simple designs, even if it's for short form content. That's something I really want to work on for 2026. Long form has always been my bread and butter. It's my preferred because I like putting stuff on in the background as I'm working, but I am also trying to do more like short snippets of like mini tutorials in the short section, because unfortunately I do have to feed the algorithm too, and that seems to be what it prefers. But don't worry, the long form is not going anywhere. I'm far too chatty for that to go. I love these like mini zircon charms. I think miniature decorations are going to be big in 2026. So yeah, these were super pretty and pretty easy to work on. And then last but not least was my most recent holiday design. I'm not super big into like deep red and green for Christmas. I don't know what it is, it's just not my vibe. I love deep red, I love deep green, just together, maybe not my favorite. So instead I went for like a pastel sparkly winter set. Just tried out a bunch of different methods that I'd been wanting to test. So yeah, these were my version of winter holiday nails. I did the like ornament nail, added a real bow because I thought it looked cute. and again returned to this glass nail look that I really like. And overall, I thought it was a fun set, more of like a Winter Wonderland set versus like something that screams holidays, I guess, but that's just maybe more my speed. And yeah, that actually brings us to the last design that I made this year. So now comes the fun part where we organize them according to which ones were my favorite this year. Okay, so now's the hard part. Put these in order. Let's start with the easy thing, or which should be the easy thing, which is which are my favorites. I think just because what they mean for me in terms of my achievement and being able to go to Premiere Pro and like have such a great experience there and meet some people, I'm actually going to put these at the top. Number 2 might have to be the claw nails, one of these, because I just love them so much. I like how they turn out. So yeah, Silent Hill claws. And then I do actually think I want to put these, my collaboration, next, because I was really proud of how these turned out, and I just like the look of them. What after? I think maybe I will put my portrait nail attempt, because I was really proud of myself for kind of like stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something that I wasn't entirely comfortable with. So I'll put the portrait nails there. Then up next, maybe the Taylor Swift claws, because I do really like how they turned out, how they look. I kind of like keeping this here, this set of dessert nails. Those were one of my favorites too. And then maybe my Senna Onsen nails. I do really like the simplicity of these. After that, I might have to go with my Strawberry Shortcake nails. And then maybe my Summer Senna set, because he's just too cute. I'm really proud of that guy there. And then maybe the Chinese New Year set, because I do really like all the hand-painted details. I think the flowers look nice. And then it's probably Resident Evil next. After that is probably going to be my vacation nails. This is probably correct, the Dark Fairy set. I do like how the thumbnail turned out. Next maybe would be my Mel set. As much as I'm happy with how the portrait came out, I do think I could have done maybe a better job on some of these other nails. I don't know, I want more 3D. I'm such a fan of 3D. Speaking of, I think Kirby will be next. And then I think I'll do the Winter Dolian nails there. The little goldfish nails after that. And then last, not that I don't like them, it's just maybe because I recently worked on them, I'm gonna put the pink winter nails. So yeah, this is my year. Kind of crazy to look back at. But overall, I am really happy looking back on this. I think one of the biggest things I've grown in is texture and layering. So usually when I would do a set before, I would do like one color, maybe an ombre, some hand-painted details. If I look at some of these sets, even like a simple one like this, I'm using like multiple types of cat eye. I'm doing like multiple textured elements, lots of chrome isolation. Chrome isolation is something I absolutely love to do. So yeah, overall, I am very, very pleased. Once again, thank you to everyone for just being here on this journey with me. It really does mean a lot to have support in something that I kind of started for myself, just to document my own growth, and have something for me to look back on. So the fact that people want to be part of that is really encouraging. Teaching is my passion, it is my day job, and so I love that I get to combine that with nail art. So speaking of which, I'm starting a new series in 2026. It's based off of Shophouse Nails Deconstructed Design, where I'll be taking specific designs that you guys send to me and showing you how to do them. So you can submit those, there's a link down below. You can submit also through Instagram DMs or on my Discord if you would like to be part of that community. That is also linked down below. All of my other affiliate links are down below as well if you'd like to support me and the channel. And I do have free nail templates for anyone looking for something to help them design their sets digitally. But yeah, I would love to hear what all of your goals are for 2026, your resolutions in the comments down below. But I don't want this video to get too long. So with that being said, I hope you all are having a wonderful day wherever you are. And I will see you all for the next one. Bye.